Hello, great souls. So good to see you and be with you. So we're beginning now in the month of May to look at step 5. And as a reminder, the spiritual principle is intimacy, into me, see, and that's paired with the yoga philosophy of Saucha, purity. So I was contemplating the step itself, and I'm going to read that for you. It's in step 5 in the 12 steps. We admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. We admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. And what I want to say about that is a few things. So step 5 is following step 4, which is this practice of self-study, right? And in classic traditional terms in 12 steps, that's known as a personal inventory. And in 12 steps, which is focused on addiction, we really are looking at, later it gets identified as character defects or character flaws. Those qualities, those habit patterns of thought, of feeling, of action that are supporting addiction, right? So they're supporting a way of life we're trying to get away from. As the practice is refined through yoga and 12 steps, what we're looking at in step 4, there's a theme, still self-study. I'm still looking at my life, but it is a little bit more refined, I think is the best way of saying it. So definitely the language is different. I'm not looking for character defects or character flaws, but I would be looking for habit patterns or feeling, emotional patterns, mental patterns, patterns of action that are leading me away from the light, leading me away from my highest self. So it's a practice that is looking at what isn't useful, much more so than the thought of what is wrong, right? So I'm not looking at what's wrong. I'm looking at what isn't working for me, right? What's not serving me. It's softer language. It is, well, in some ways, it definitely has a quality of compassion and mercy. And I want to be careful that I'm not saying the traditional approach of 12 steps is wrong, right? Speaking of wrong, it's not wrong. It is, but it can feel harsh. And even when someone is dealing with addiction, it can feel too harsh, right? So it doesn't work for everyone, right? The principle works, right? Self-study would work. But harsh language and the tendency toward blame, which isn't the intention of inventory. The intention of inventory is self-honesty, is to be able to face the truth about ourselves, like where we're standing. But especially and this is not untrue in 12 steps, but especially in yoga and 12 steps, we're looking at that from a higher reality, from a place of wholeness within ourselves. Definitely someone who's supporting us would be. Now that's also true in 12 steps. It is a practice that the sponsor, the guide, is seeing more than the mess, right? They're seeing the value of the person in front of them. And they're welcoming. Go ahead, tell me what mess. What mess have you gotten yourself into? What's really not been working? And many times as a result of active addiction, right? So now someone's in recovery and they're repairing, they're changing their life, they're transforming it. But there's wreckage. And it's important to look at that and attend to that so that you actually feel free, that you're not carrying those burdens of past actions, past habits. So so then when we move into step 5, and many of the steps, although they're individual, they are often paired. 4 and 5 really are a pair. And the 5th step, intimacy, we're sharing our whole self with another. So part of what we're practicing is whatever self-study I've done, and it is actually both an uplifting self-study and a corrective self-study. Like, here's what's working well for me, the patterns I feel good about, right? I want to keep going and strengthen. Here's what's not working well for me. And oftentimes it's old patterns that need transforming. So the intimacy of step 5 is I'm not the only one looking at that, right? Step 5 brings us out of the shadows. I find a trusted source I can go to say, here is my truth. Very often it feels extraordinarily vulnerable to do that, to be able to share with another what they might judge. What if they lose sight of your wholeness and they get lost in the mess? And it can feel that way. It's incredibly liberating when we find someone to trust, to share our journey with, who sees our wholeness. And they're like, yeah, I can see some things that I can see it would be helpful to correct. And I also see the strength of what's going well. So I support that and help you in supporting that. And let's see what we can do about what needs correction. And that's what the future steps offer. Coming back to this moment and yoga asana practice, I was just pondering, like, how to weave all of that into yoga practice. Well, it's, again, being honest with ourselves about where we are in the moment and where we are in our practice, and then allowing ourselves to be visible in that, right? So I would say in a physical class, sometimes it can be more obvious how that might happen because other people can see you, right? They might see you maybe struggling, or the teacher can see you struggling in a pose. Here, it isn't so much. I think mostly here, it's starting with the first part of the step. We admitted to ourselves, to God, and to another human being. So starting with the self, I don't know if what I'm just going to say next is going to make sense to you, but what I've noticed in my yoga asana practice is sometimes I become aware of a feeling, an emotion, within me. Sometimes I can't even name it. Like, I might be practicing and tears will come. And it's a surprise. Like, what is that? What I learned in teacher training is we don't have to analyze it. If tears come, it's just energy being released and actually transformed. And it tends to be very healing. So I just want to invite you to be open to what yourself and what is. And start there, right? So that's the first, there's 3 parts to step 5. Honesty with the self, and then, so intimacy rather, it's both, but intimacy with the self. And then we're inviting the divine in, and then ultimately inviting another in, right? So I offer you that today for our practice. See how it lands for you, how it's helpful for you, and we'll go from there. So let's come into standing or seated and find your feet. See if you can feel your feet touching the earth, connected to the earth. And begin to take some deep, full breaths in and out. Eyes can be open or closed. Belly is relaxed, so the diaphragm can move freely. Awareness at the spiritual eye. So you're aware of your breath and your body, and also the spiritual eye, the point between the eyebrows. Experiencing yourself from this viewpoint, the vision of the soul, which sees the body and supports the body, sees the breath and works with the breath, recognizes emotions, makes space for them and helps us to navigate them, is aware of thoughts and mental patterns, and can transform those into wisdom. I stand ready to obey thy least command. I stand ready to obey thy least command. We're calling in the vision of wisdom, the vision of the soul to guide us in our practice and in our life. I stand ready to see what needs to be seen, to follow the truth as it is made known to me. One more deep, full breath in and out. Very nice. Let's move in, take that and move into full yogic breath flow. So moving the prana and life force through the body, and the arms come up and we look up toward the sky. I'll turn for a side view. We gather energy in. The hands remain just slightly in front of the body. As you slowly exhale, surrender, release, and arms come out to the side. Finding your own rhythm, you'll inhale, moving energy with the magnetism of the hands, releasing back out to the universe, gathering fresh prana and life force in, guiding it to flow through the body. You might sense yourself releasing it into the earth, drawing life force up. Tune into a quality of harmony and balance between movement, consciousness, thoughts, and breath. Notice how the body feels as you stretch and breathe, as you come forward and surrender and release. One more time, coming up, flowing down, releasing, surrendering, letting go. Inhaling up, stretch tall to the sky and circle the arms around the body. Come back to Tadasana. Pause for a moment. And just find your feet again. Notice how it feels to be standing. See if you can sense a centered, strong awareness of yourself. Seated here at the spiritual eye, aware of all. We'll come into circle of light, circle of joy. So hands together at the heart in prayer position. Inhale, fingers interlace and elbows lift up. Exhale, hands move out in front. Inhale, lift and lengthen, stretch and reach, really stretch the body. And as you exhale, use the mind to visualize a bubble of light, a bubble of joy surrounding you. The arms come behind the back. If you can clasp the fingers, you do. Draw the arms back. Exhale, release, arms float. Palms together, hands at the heart. We'll do this a few more times. You can follow me or go at your own pace. Inhaling and exhaling. Breathe as deeply and smoothly as you can. Inhaling. Lifting, stretching, lengthening. Exhale, light and joy surround you. Arms and hands come behind. We draw the arms back. Exhale, release. palms together, hands at the heart. One last time. Inhaling. And exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen, stretch, reach. And exhale, light and joy surrounds you. Arms come behind, draw them back. Inhale. And exhale, release. Beautiful. Okay. We'll step the feet apart and begin with side-to-side stretching as a flow. Left arm comes up, lift and lengthen. Exhale to the side, pointing through the fingers. And then we'll inhale up and exhale down. You can follow my rhythm or find your own. Right arm comes up, really lengthen, reach and stretch, and take your time. Inhale up, exhale down. Really notice the body, each muscle group if you can, that you're stretching and how it feels to engage the muscles. Careful not to overdo. Inhale up, exhale down. Right arm. Eyes can be open or closed, whatever helps you focus. Inhale up and exhale down. We'll flow one more time and then we'll hold the stretch. So this is still a flow. Reaching. Inhale up. Exhale down. Right arm comes up. Lengthen. Reach in the stretch. Notice where you feel it. Inhale up. Exhale down. Your legs can be right where they are. You could bring them closer together. I think I tend to keep them just a little more than hip width apart for me. Left arm comes up, and I reach and hold the stretch. So I'm looking forward or rotate to look to the sky. If you feel wobbly, you can look down toward the floor. Sometimes that helps. And just reaching. Careful not to overstretch. Nice deep breaths in and out. And come up. When you're ready, exhale down. And we'll go to the other side. Really lengthen. Exhale over. And see how much you can just really feel a sense of communion with yourself. Intimacy with the self. Really listening to the body. Listening to the breath. We'll come up, bring the arm down, bring legs back in. My legs are about hip width apart. And so just relax and notice how you feel. See if you can sense a distinction between the upper body and the lower body. If you're aware of a difference there. Very nice. And now we'll practice cat-cow. I'm going to do it I'm going to start standing, only to show you. You can stand behind your chair or sit in the chair, and then we're going to stretch out the legs. So in the standing, I'm at the back of the chair, enough away from it that I can arch and sway. Arch and sway. The arch is the exhale. The sway is the inhale. If I'm on the floor, I'm in tabletop position. Arching on the exhale, chin to chest, tailbone tucks under, belly button to the back of the spine. Swaying on the inhale. Exhale, arch. Inhale, sway. Now you might find you want to pause, either in the arch or the sway, and it's fine if you do. Just keep the breath flowing. So sometimes the body will guide us to hold one or both directions for a few breaths. So honor that if it happens. nice and slow. Just bringing our full presence to our practice. There's nowhere else we need to be, nothing else we need to be doing. Just be right here now. Very nice. We'll come back to neutral and we'll practice stirring the pot. So whether we're on the floor or standing, and I'll show you first on the floor because that's where I am, where we're inhaling forward, it's a circular motion, and exhaling back. Same thing if you're standing with your hands on the back of the chair. You exhale away and inhale as you come forward. Nice, yeah. And we'll do this several times in one direction and then several times in the other direction. Aligning breath with body movement, fully aware of our body and our breath as we move, as we breathe. Very nice. Okay. So if you're on the floor, we're going to stretch into balasana, kind of come forward, arms forward, buttocks comes down towards the heels, release the head and neck to the floor. If you're standing, or seated, sure. Okay, I just saw you get in your chair. So we can do balasana in the chair. Perfect. So nice stretch of the spine, nice release. The affirmation is, I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. When you're ready to come out, you'll inhale up, slowly bring the torso up. Now we're going to stretch out the legs. So on the floor, we'll come onto our backs. In the chair, we'll stay seated, draw one leg in and then the other. And I'm remembering, I used to have us raise the leg, and then I discovered it's a much better stretch So if you're in the chair, you're going to pull one knee in and then the other when we do that. And then when on the floor, we raise the leg, flex the foot, keep the leg lengthened, and come forward leading with the heart. That'll give you a very similar stretch, starting with left leg and then right. So on the floor, on our backs, going to have the right leg extended. It's relaxed, and draw the left knee in. So same thing in the chair. And take some nice relaxed breaths. And just notice the muscle groups engaged. Scan the body. Notice the quality of your breath. Without criticism, just noticing. Is it a deep breath? Is it a relaxed breath? It might be shallow. Making space for whatever is. And then we'll release the knee, and we will extend the left leg out and draw the right knee in towards the belly, towards the chest. Notice if this side feels different. As you breathe, imagine the breath flowing like a wave of grace throughout the whole body. Really letting the body know you're here, you're present, you're listening. Intimacy, full attention to the body, to the breath, to any feelings that may be there, any thoughts that float through. Just observing them, taking note. without holding on to anything. And then we'll release the right leg, and the right knee is bent, and the left leg is extended, the foot is flexed. And if you're on the floor, you raise the leg slowly. Find the stretch that feels right for you. If you're in the chair, you lengthen the spine with the inhale, and exhale, leading with the heart. Come forward just enough to feel a nice stretch in the back of the left leg. So breathing, offering your relaxed breath to the body, helping the muscles receive the prana and the message of relaxation so the muscles can relax. Also being aware of the body helps the body trust that it can let go of tension, because I won't absent-mindedly overstretch. The closer attention we pay, the more the body feels safe. And then we'll point and flex the left foot a few times, an ankle rotation. Rotate the ankle a few times each direction. And then if you're on the floor, lower the leg down, and we'll slide the left leg in. Now it's bent, right leg is extended, right foot is flexed. And we'll raise the leg or lengthen the spine and exhale forward, stretching the back of the right leg now. Just find the stretch that feels right for you, whether you're in the chair or on the floor. And breathe into that stretch. See if you can imagine it as a gift for the body. Generally, it feels really good for the body to let go of excess tension. Everything is able to operate more easily when that excess tension has been cleared, especially if it's done gently, through invitation. Each stretch an invitation to let go. We'll point and flex the right foot now. Ankle rotation, a few times in each direction. Lift and lengthen and exhale down. We'll slide that foot up. Now we're going to open up the hip area. So if you're in the chair, your left foot's either going to come all the way up to your right thigh or be on a pillow or two that you still get the stretch, but it's not as dramatic, which sometimes, especially in the chair, can feel like too much. So find the opening, the position that works, and we're opening up the left hip and all the muscles around the hip joint. Nice, relaxed belly as you breathe. If you're on the floor, your right foot can remain on the floor, or you can draw your knee towards your body. If you're in the chair, the spine is vertical. Or if you feel to, you can come forward a bit, leading with your heart. You just come far as forward as it feels right for your body. Offering a relaxed breath. Mentally affirming the affirmation from Royal Pigeon Pose, Rajaka Pottanasana. I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. Whatever has been,
Whatever will be is in the distance. We practice being here now, in this moment. I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now.
And then we'll slowly bring the leg down if you've raised it, or bring the torso back up if you've come forward. Uncross the legs. Take a moment for the body to adjust. If you're on the floor, you might want to just press down on your feet, lift hips and buttocks to bring the spine back to neutral. Generally in the chair, that's not needed. And now we'll go to the other side. So right foot coming onto a stack of pillows, an ottoman, or crossing the left thigh. Begin to take some deep, full breaths in and out. Sometimes when I'm on the floor, I'll just rock a tiny bit, just kind of easing the body into the stretch. Again, left foot can remain on the floor, or you can raise the leg up. In the chair, the spine can remain vertical, or you can inhale, lengthen, and come forward, leading with the heart. Just enough. Careful not to do too much. Listening to the body, honoring the body. Practicing full presence. I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. I rise above all thought of past and future into the eternal now. When you're ready to come out, release the legs, come back to neutral. Again, on the floor, you can press down on the feet, lift hips and buttocks. And then just see what the body might need. Sometimes stillness is exactly what's wanted. Other times, if you're on the floor, you might want to bring knees to chest, kind of come in and out a few times, rock side to side. In the chair, you might want to come forward in your seat or lift the heart and chest. Just see what feels right. Again, stillness is also an option. Very good. Okay, so we're going to practice the gate pose, Parigasana now, and this can be on the floor or in the chair, so I'll show you both. It's a side stretch that we bring the left leg out. So whether you're in the chair or on the floor, the left leg comes out, left hand is resting on the thigh. The ball of the foot can be off the floor or touching the floor, and you could also have a blanket underneath if you wanted. Okay, so I think most of us know how to do this, either in the chair or on the floor. So it's going to raise your hand if you need me to show you in the chair. Nope, okay. So we're going to inhale the right arm up, create a nice line here, stretching to the sky, and then reach as you exhale, and you're kind of creating this wave in the body, and you go just as far as the body wants to go, not any farther. If you're not sure if it feels hard, especially notice your breath. If the breath starts to constrict, usually you're stretching too far, so just come out of it a little bit. The palm of the hand is facing down, and you can rotate to look up to the sky, and you're looking right in front of the arm, not at the arm. That's too much of a twist for the neck. You could also look straight forward or down to the floor is fine. Waves of joy surge upward in my spine. Waves of joy surge upward in my spine. Breathing deeply, imagine joyful energy awakening within you, surging upward through the spine. Waves of joy surge upward through my spine. Just a few more breaths. Very nice. Inhale up. Bring the arm down. We'll bring this leg in. You can stay up high on your knees if you're on the floor, or bring your buttocks to your heels, or sit on a bolster. And in the chair, you're seated in a relaxed way. So let me grab these guys. We don't pause very long, but part of what we're practicing is integration. To take an action, do a movement, practice something, pause and integrate. And it trains our consciousness so that when we're off the yoga mats, it becomes more natural to be introspective, to act, pause, and integrate. And it can happen quite quickly, so it's not like we're slow motion automation through our day. But there are segments in the day where a natural pause or taking a pause can be really useful, and this practice helps us to do that, feel comfortable with it. So now we'll go to the other side. So we're going to stretch the right leg out. The right arm's going to be on the thigh, and usually for me it starts to slide down a bit as I go to the side. And we're going to sweep left arm up like a wave, and take your time reaching. Find the stretch that feels just right. It's also a stretch for the legs, so be careful not to overstretch there either. For me today, flexing my foot is kind of helping. And then rotate to look up to the sky, or you can stay looking straight ahead or down to the floor. Mentally affirming, waves of joy surge upward in my spine. Swami encouraged us to imagine, visualize the affirmations if we can, because it helps us to tap into an inner reality. These things are happening on a very subtle level. The energy is prana, life force, joyful energy, surging upward. Waves of joy surge upward in my spine. Very nice. Inhale up, exhale down. Again, we'll pause for a moment. Today, blankets are helpful today for me. So just take a moment and do a global awareness of your body and your breath. Where are you in this moment? It doesn't have to be long. Waves of joy surge upward in my spine. Very nice. So we'll come into downward facing dog, and from there come into standing. So if you're in your chair, you can come right up into standing if you want to use the seat of the chair for the floor. And if you're on the floor, we'll be in tabletop position. Toes turned under. Press down on the balls of the feet and lift hips and buttocks up. Legs are hip width apart. Heels can be on the mat or off the mat. Ears are in alignment with the upper arms. Deep, full breaths in and out. Very nice. If you're using the chair, the hands are on the seat of the chair. You've walked the legs away. Ears again are in alignment with the upper arms. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. When you're ready to come up, you'll walk the feet towards the hands and slowly bring yourself up into standing. Coming into Tadasana. And just notice, kind of from the bottom of your feet touching the earth, scan the body. Bring your awareness up. And let's practice a few more of the full yogic breath flow, just to help the prana and all that we've done up to this point move through the body. It can help with integration. So sweeping the hands up, out to the side. Now this can be done standing or seated. Hands come in front, sweep down, come just as far forward as is comfortable. Surrender and release. We'll do this a few times, so find your own rhythm. Appreciating the body as you practice. What a gift it is to move. To be able to stretch and reach and breathe. Very nice. Next time the arms come up, we'll circle them around. Beautiful. Come back to standing. So here we're going to come into a spinal twist, a seated twist. I'm going to do it in the chair. If you like to practice on the floor, you can. So in the chair, I come forward in my seat. I want to make sure I don't fall out, but it helps me to be away from the back of the chair. I'm going to take the left leg and cross it over the right, or you can have knees side by side and twist. So you don't have to cross your legs if that doesn't work for you. So if it works, we cross left leg over right, and then I take a moment to just kind of have my hips even on the seat. I want to make sure I'm not leaning. If that happens when you cross your leg and you can't come back to an even plane, better to keep them uncrossed. So I'm going to inhale, lengthen the spine, bring the left arm out in front. Exhale, bring the arm behind me. This is true if I'm on the floor or in the chair. And it can be in the back of the chair, or often for me it's the seat of the chair. Just kind of helps to lengthen my spine. Now we're going to turn in 3 breaths, starting with the lower part of the spine, moving up to the torso, and then the head and neck. Inhale, exhale, just around the hip area. And the sound might cut out a little bit, so I'll try not to bring my arm across. Inhale, exhale the torso. And then inhale, exhale the head and neck. And now the right arm can hug the left knee or come across the knee. And at that point, if you're in the chair, you might want to bring my arm comes up to the back of the chair at that point. So find what works for you. Lengthened, seated, spinal twist. The affirmation is, I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. So it awakens the capacity to align our consciousness with divine love, harmony, unity, kinship with all of life, soul friends, plants and animals and minerals and people, stars and planets, a sense of goodwill. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. When you're ready to come out, you'll inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale, unwind. We exhale and unwind in one breath. As the legs are crossed, you uncross them and come and pause in a neutral seat. Palms turned upward on the thighs. Eyes can be open or closed. Just taking a moment to integrate. Keeping the awakened energy, especially when we come out of a twist, there can be a strong flow of prana that's released, and we guide it to the spiritual eye and strengthen that flow of energy with our affirmation. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. Very nice. We'll go to the other side. So if you're crossing legs, right leg crosses over the left. Take a moment to even the plane on the buttocks and the hips. Lengthen the spine with an inhale. Bring the right arm out in front, and exhale, bring the arm behind. So I usually start towards the top of the chair, and then I bring it down. I'm lengthening the spine with an inhale, and now I'm going to exhale 3 times. Exhale, lower part of the body begins to twist to the right. Inhale, exhale, the kind of mid and upper back begins to twist. Inhale, exhale, turn head and neck. And the arm behind can be on the back of the chair or the bottom of the chair. Energy rising through the spine, flooding the heart center, continuing upward for purification. So personal feeling is transformed into universal divine love. The natural love of the heart to embrace all. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. When you're ready to come out, inhale, lengthen, exhale, unwind. We'll uncross the legs if they're crossed. Come into a neutral seat, palms turned upward. Take a few deep breaths in and out, guiding energy to the spiritual eye. Visualize all of the energy centers, the chakras, those lotus flowers turned upward within you. Everything rising within you. Body is relaxed, breath is relaxed, heart is open, mind is receptive. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. Ardha Matsyendrasana, a half spinal twist. Okay, so from here we'll practice Ustrasana, the camel pose. And again, I'll practice in the chair, but you can also practice on the floor. I'll show in the chair and kneeling in front of the chair. So I like to be far up in my seat. Hands can be halfway back, or arms can be all the way back, holding the back of the chair. And then I reach forward with my heart, with my chest, and that creates the arch. And then I just lift my head slightly. And then I begin to visualize that I'm bathed in divine light. If my knees are on the floor and I'm using the chair, I start close to the seat, and then I walk my knees away. And I begin to slide my arms down so that I can arch the spine. And in this position, I'm looking up to the sky. But I haven't moved my head or neck. It's the position of my torso, of my spine, that's putting me here. Again, visualize yourself bathed in light, divine healing energy, and that your heart is open and receptive to this light. That the mind is welcoming it, every part of you receiving divine light, acknowledging its presence. With calm faith, I open to thy light. With calm faith, I open to thy light. To come out, bring the torso back to neutral, and you can bring one arm up to help you. And then we'll come into a neutral seat. So if you're on the floor, buttocks can come to the heels. Again, you can sit on a blanket or two or a pillow. We're just taking a moment to pause and integrate. Palms turned upward on the thighs. Continue to visualize yourself bathed in light, flooded with healing energy. Every body cell receiving golden healing light. With calm faith, I open to thy light. With calm faith, I open to thy light. Very nice. From here, we'll take a moment in Balasana. And from Balasana, we'll go into deep relaxation. So we're just going to stretch the spine a little bit. The arms this time can be behind you. If you're in the chair, generally they're at the side, or they can be in front of you. So we lengthen the spine, exhale forward, laying the torso across the thighs. Remember that you can also bring the knees apart. And that creates space for the belly, the chest. And so whether you're in the chair or on the floor, sometimes that's more comfortable. And you slowly lower the spine and release the head and the forehead. Breathing deeply. I relax from outer involvement into my inner haven of peace. When you're ready to come up, you'll slowly inhale, bring yourself up, and then we'll transition into deep relaxation. So you can be seated in a chair for this. You can go right into meditation. We will meditate after deep relaxation, but you can start sooner. You don't have to wait if that's better for you. On the floor, you can be in traditional Shavasana, just laying on the floor, legs extended about hip-width apart, or legs up the chair. So if I'm using the chair, I like to have a blanket or pillow underneath my head, and I begin being close to the chair, and then I bring my legs around, lower myself down slowly, and slide the blanket or pillow underneath, and then I lift my hips and lower them until it feels comfortable. And arms are relaxed out to the side, legs are relaxed. So you choose the position that helps you let go of the body, that you feel so supported that you can forget about the body. Because we're guiding our awareness now deeper within to the essence of our soul nature, the qualities of the divine within us, light, peace, joy. Begin to breathe in a relaxed way and consciously begin to let go of the physical body. Letting go of the emotional body. Letting go of the mental body. All of them still here, but we're guiding our awareness deeper within. Bones, muscle, movement, I surrender now. Anxiety, elation, and depression, churning thoughts, all these I give into the hands of peace. Bones, muscle, movement, I surrender now. Anxiety, elation, and depression, churning thoughts, all these I give into the hands of peace. Allow yourself to dive deeply, to rest fully. You can remain in deep relaxation or transition, if you're on the floor, gently into a comfortable seat, moving slowly, stretching gently, just to bring yourself enough back into the body so you can move safely. Resting on your right side. Meditating now together for 5 minutes. I'll chant Om to bring us out. Let's close our sadhana now by sending out healing energy and light. A blessing to all. Rub the hands together, draw energy and light into the hands. Visualize yourself as a divine channel. We'll raise the hands and chant Om together 3 times. Om. Om. Peace. Amen. Okay, dear souls, so good to be with you. Many blessings to you.